Sending somebody in to negotiate.
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Our countdown of the 100 greatest films of all time has reached number 34. In at number 34 is French director Luc Besson with The Fifth Element from 1997.
This is another example of why we need Luc Besson directing more movies, especially some cool science fiction
Where has he
movies.
been?
Well, he likes to just produce and engage other people. He's got a whole team. He's got the Luc Besson army making all kinds of stuff around him.
This is an incredible cast in
Yes.
this film. It includes Luke Perry.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything. It's got Bruce Willis. It's got Mila Jovovich, who at the time, I think her English was not very good. She was a Russian woman who had worked as a model, who was trying to break into acting, and who really sells her
She's amazing
performance
in this
as
movie.
Lilu in this
Yeah.
thing. I mean, you just think this woman's going to be slight. She hasn't really come into her own. She's just a model, but man, she's
She's
really
not a
sells
damsel
it.
in distress. She turned out to be an incredible weapon and an incredible ally. Bruce Willis is amazing in this thing as this hapless sort of future version of every Bruce Willis character. He's almost like the John McClane of the future.
Play it soft. Play it soft. You wanna play it hard? Let's play it hard.
He gets pulled in into this sort of intergalactic mystery, and he travels all over the place, encounters an opera singer with really crazy blue makeup on and these long tendrils coming out of her head. Also, Gary Oldman doing lots of screaming whenever he's hired in a Luc Besson movie.
He
Screaming.
must scream. It's in his contract.
He is crazy in this thing with a whacked haircut.
warriors, not merchants.
But you can still count! Look, it's easy. Look at my fingers. 4 stones, 4 crates. 0 stones, 0 crates!
But Chris Tucker is hilarious in this thing.
Yeah, he's great. He's such a talent. It is kind of a shame that he hasn't worked more in the ensuing years
Yeah.
since his performance in this film. You know, while I was watching this, and I'd never really seen it before until a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I'd seen little bits here and there, and I always thought of it as the movie where Bruce Willis has orange hair dye in his hair.
Yeah.
And he still does have hair in this
does.
movie, which is terrific to see.
1997.
This is his moonlighting hairdo.
Yep.
While I'm watching it, I hadn't really expected to see all of these intergalactic shots of outer space.
Yep.
I hadn't expected all of these weird, crazy, cantina-like creatures.
This
And
is
I-
kind of
and I-
Besson's Star Wars in a way.
That's what I kept thinking. This is like the French Star Wars. I
Yeah.
mean, if the French were going to make a Star Wars, this is probably what it'd be like. It'd be really sexy.
Yeah.
You'd have a lady who had hardly any clothes on for the whole thing.
Craziest
There'd be a lot of
bikini.
talking.
Yeah.
But all the special effects feel really overcooked in a
Right.
cartoonish way.
Yeah.
Even the way the cab moves, everything fishtails a little bit too much. It has an animated quality.
But look at how influential this work was. Certainly, the Star Wars prequels borrowed liberally from the design and all of this sort of traffic in an urban city, this floating traffic kind of idea. This thing lifted off on a lot of really cool cinematic conceits, and I just think this crazy amalgam of this international cast is something to behold.
The thing that I always like about Besson is he always presents a whole world. He
Yeah.
never creates half a world or part of a world or just a corner of a room. He's got the whole damn world all figured out.
Yep.
You know, from like a planet that would be orbiting this planet right down to the shoelaces that somebody's wearing. I mean, he takes a lot of care in everything he
Yes, he
does, and
does.
that's apparent in every frame of this film.
There are little bits and pieces of almost every influential 80s kind of thing
it's a
that's happened.
pastiche, right?
Right,
A
right. I mean, there's a
collage.
little Die Hard, there's a little Star Wars, there's a little Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's
La Femme Nikita.
La Femme Nikita. I mean, all of it is sort of intertwined, and it works, and we've got this crazy, fast-talking future television personality in Chris
Yeah, I
Tucker.
don't know who talks faster, Mila Jovovich's character or Chris Tucker's character.
Well, I just love hearing Jose do his impression of Chris Tucker's character.
I don't really like that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yes! What's wrong with you? Just stay in your car!
I love The Fifth Element. I know it's kind of an acquired taste.
Like Escargot.
Escargot, there you go. But it definitely deserves a high spot. That's why you were number 34, Fifth Element.